library attached, and they're wondering what to do with the library space when it moves. So I'll give it away to this group.
Okay. Right. I'm going to talk, but I'm hoping my colleagues will join in. We were really inspired by your talk this morning, Nina, and there were 3 points from your list of 7 wild ideas that we thought were really important with this project, which were be personal, make them do real work, and use known frameworks. So we've looked through a whole range of different ideas of how we can do this at Worcester, so that we end up with reasons to exist for Worcester museums and the concrete ideas that that can bring to. And we looked specifically at our community, our grassroots, and also at our stakeholders, our grasshoppers. I'm not going to go through the whole list because it's going to take a while, but there's a whole set of brilliant ideas like using photo booths, celebrating the fact that we already have a very strong local connection by involving that much more in every exhibition that we do, working with consultation panels both online and in the real, and then we came up with this idea that we'd have an overriding project that would link into everything that we're doing over the next few years, and we'd pull all these different elements together and link with loads of different people, create things like an alumni network of people across the world who have a connection to Worcester, so that we can have this sense of groundswell. This is what we were aiming to get to. By the end of 2010, a groundswell of ownership across people who feel that Worcester Museums needs to move on in a positive way. And I now have 10 action points to take back and start work from Monday morning on. Which,
somebody else can hear all of them, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I can hear.
So first of all, I have to get my colleagues on side, and we think that to do that we need to work on some level of participation for them as well. And then after that, I need to sit down with my existing forward plan and work out how we connect absolutely everything that we're already doing into these 3 areas of be personal, do real work, and connect to known frameworks. Then I need to make sure I get the volunteers and friends on board, and then I'm going to set up a comments board / interactive wall where every week I can start a new question to get to articulate that sense of how do we get the community involved, and we're going to photograph it every week and keep moving on. Then all of these areas need targeting to our grasshoppers, our stakeholders as well. We're going to match specifically where some of them fit with other ones, contribute within it so that they have that sense of ownership as well. Number 6 is I get to get an intern, which is so they can take some of this pressure off me and do some of it for me. So if anyone knows anyone who'd like to intern at Worcester, please let me know. I've got a dialogue with the library. I've got to be really clear about where they're going, what their plans are for the future, so that we can be more clear about where the gaps are and where we fit within that gap with the audience. I need to set up a whole set of systems online that work so that we can start to capture all of this information that we're taking. So it's not that we're just achieving it every time we have an exhibition or an event or whatever. It needs to be snowballing from piece to piece. So every time we get the information, it gets one level, and then we get more information, etc. And then when we have this fantastic message that we've created with all of these people involved, which actually will be quite soon, I hope, which is going to be something along the lines of your story, your museum, we're changing, how do we change, how do you get part of it? We get it out there, get the message out there using merchandise, and we had a really interesting conversation about whether that merchandise ought to be free, things like should we give away badges or should we sell them so that people really feel like they're buying into the project. And then finally, my fantastic colleagues around the table have already set up a Ning group called Help Philippa Now, so that I can't avoid it. I have to go back and do it. And I have to give them weekly updates, and they can nag me to make sure it gets done. Have I missed anything?